are live. This is UFC 222 Cyborg versus Kunitskaya. Bro picks. This is Ricky.
What's up, guys? This is Justin, and we're back. We had a pretty good card last weekend on Fox. We had, good card, man. We had Josh Emmett versus Jeremy Stevens, and my hat goes off to Stevens. I bet on Emmett 4 units, and he went out there, dropped him in the first round, got too cocky, tried to brawl Stevens. You don't do that, and went to sleep. And it was my fault, but it was Emmett's fault, dude. Emmett was winning the fight, and he got too cocky and paid the price. Jeremy Stevens has been looking good, dude. I gotta take this guy seriously. He's no joke, and he's definitely one of the best guys right now, featherweight. Let's talk about Kelleher versus Barao. We both hit that. You had a max bet. You'll be talking about that right now. And I bet 4 units. And yeah, dude. Barao's done. So simply about that. I feel like we gotta fade him again if he doesn't get cut. And Kelleher went out there and 30-27'd him and made him look silly. So I went plus 1.40 units on the night. Thanks for Kelleher. What about you?
Yeah, man. I did good. There's just one play of the night. It was 5 units on Kelleher. Max bet on him. I saw Barao as a favorite. I saw Kelleher as plus money. Barao lost to Aljo. He just has been on the decline huge. Just to see Barao as a favorite, it was way off to me. I saw Kelleher as plus money. I didn't see a way Barao can win. You know what I mean? So that was my first max bet of the year. I just saw that opportunity, and I had to max bet it because I feel like if I would have done anything less, I would have regretted it because I didn't see him lose. I didn't see Kelleher losing that fight. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I took the bet. I didn't see that. I didn't see it. I didn't see that. I didn't think it was going to continue getting better, man. Day of the weigh-ins, a lot of people were buying into the hype, and I think Kelleher got all the way up to like 150 or something like that. So, I don't understand it, but whatever. I'm glad. It was a great call, and I'm glad we cashed that play.
Dude, Kelleher is no joke, dude. And people are saying he's a jobber, dude. He is not a jobber, man. And the guy has good pressure, dude. That's how he beat Barao. He was in his face the whole fight, beat him on the feet. The fight didn't even hit the mat. And Kelleher has a very good chin. He ate some big shots, and he broke Barao. He would have got that finish if there's a little more time left in that fight. Barao got dominated. He got his ass beat. And I like Kelleher, man. Kelleher's deserved it. He showed he's a top 15 dude. Mike Perry, I think he needs to go to a real gym. I think he needs to leave his gym and go to the top team because the dude, has very good power, but that's about it. He's not that technical. He's slow. He has a good chin. But Max Griffin just went out there and, damn, dude, just dominated him, dude. So, hats off to Max Griffin if anyone bet him. And Mike Perry's on a 2-fight losing streak, so let's see what he does next.
Yeah, thank God I didn't bet him, but I wasn't gonna bet him. He seemed a little bit overpriced,
Yeah, he looked, dude. I don't know, man. He just looked a little weird, because I think he was nervous to fight in his hometown, but he looked a little weird. Joe Ben had a nice performance, smoked his training partner Ben Saunders. He looked very good, dude. His chin didn't even get tested at all. So he hats off to Joe Ben. He actually broke his foot too, so we'll see when we get him back in the octagon. Anything else you want to talk about? You want to go back in or drive it in the card?
I think that's pretty much it, man.
All right, man. So first fight of the night, we got Jordan Johnson versus Adam Milstead. This is a pretty easy fight in my opinion. I got Jordan Johnson all day. He's a very good grappler, and I feel like he can ragdoll Milstead and take him down at will. Milstead, he fought a jobber in his debut in Cristo Rocha. It was a slobber knocker. It was a very ugly fight. He won the fight, and it was pretty ugly though. Next fight, Curtis Blades, took him down at will. Then he tore his ACL in that fight. We haven't seen him since. Now he's dropping down to light heavyweight and facing another very good grappler in Jordan Johnson, who has some of the best wrestling in the division. I think it's going to be rinse and repeat for Jordan Johnson. He's going to go out there and get a 30-27 dominant decision. What about you?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Johnson's grappling is just gonna be too much, and it's gonna be enough to get the win. As long as he sticks to the game plan. Next fight, good fight. It's Brian Caraway, Cody Stamann, who's a favorite right now. He's at -155. I think that's pretty good value if you ask me. Brian Caraway, you know, he's kind of old school. He's just coming off of he just beat Aljamain Sterling a while ago. You know, he also beat Eddie Wineland, called him out right after he got his jaw broken. Guys that like wants to fight people that think he has a pretty good striking. He has a hook that he goes into. He's able to land it pretty often on people, but I don't know, man. I think his striking's pretty basic, and he's been out striking people, but I'm not impressed. I think Cody Stamann has a better striking. He showed it against Duquesnoy. He actually has kicks. He uses kicks, you know, and I think his wrestling is a little better. I think his wrestling is going to be good enough to keep it standing, and yeah, man. And if he wanted to do a double to win the round, I think he could too. I think he's a more explosive fighter. I see. I don't know. Caraway is kind of a sneaky old guy. He's a weasel. He's known. He finds a way to win. So that's the only thing I'm really concerned about. But I don't know. He has a pretty good guillotine too, so it might pose a threat to Stamann's double leg. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good enough for that. I don't think he's going to put Stamann on his back at all throughout any of the fight. So we'll see. You know, we'll see how he does. But I do think he's a better striker. He's got the better wrestling. Caraway might have better transitions, might have better guillotine, but I do think that Stamann has a better wrestling to keep it standing or to not get on his back. And Brian Caraway doesn't really have a good guard. He's just good on top. So I won't really be concerned of his grappling. I just think Stamann's going to be able to dictate where the fight goes and outstrike him. So probably get a dominant decision every round, 30-27. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got my first bet of the night. I got 4 units on Stamann at -145, and I love this kid, man. He's legit. I bet on him as both his fights in UFC. And I got Doug Money against Fire Kid at like +140. He went out there and, looked good, man. I mean, he won a split, but in my opinion and everyone else's, he definitely won the second and third round. It was kind of bullshit. There's no way he wanted to do it. He got a split. And the third round, he beat Fire Kid on the feet. His striking was very good. Good combinations, good knees at the bodies, good kicks. I like his karate style, dude. He trains with Cruikshank. Cruikshank is, kind of a jobber, but the dude is very good striking. And I like Stamann's style. His wrestling is legit. He has very good takedowns. And I think he's, a better version of Caraway. I think he's better everywhere than Caraway. Caraway is a tough dude. He's not a jobber. He definitely has a good chin. I don't think he's going to finish him. I think he's going to be a dominant decision. Caraway hasn't fought in 2 years. And, he outstruck Eddie Wineland. But let's be honest, who's Eddie Wineland beat? I mean, Eddie Wineland's kind of a jobber. I mean, the dude got his jaw broken twice. The second time was against Eduardo. And then after that fight is when he fought Caraway. So people, I think, are putting too much stock in the Caraway beating Wineland. Then he beat Aljo, which, yeah, it's a pretty decent performance. But, I mean, Aljo's pretty overrated. I know you can agree with me, but he is. And he got in a full Nelson in the first round. He almost got tapped out. He won the second and third round with his wrestling. Is he going to take down Stamann? I don't think so. Cody Stamann's never been taken down in a UFC fight. I'm sorry, he's never even taken down in a fight, period. He hasn't. He's never even been taken down ever in a fight. And he even addressed that in the interview. He said, "You're not going to take me down. I've never been taken down before." And one thing I was going to mention was that, who knows what's up with Caraway? A 2-fight layoff, is the weight cut good to him? Where's his head going to be at? He lost his head coach. There's too many red flags. And I think Stamann's just, too fat, too much faster, too explosive, too athletic. The game's kind of caught Caraway up. So I got Stamann by dominant decision. And look out for this kid because this kid's going to be a future contender. So next fight we got Mike Pyle, I believe, versus Zach Ottow. Um, I got Zach Ottow. I'm not betting it though because I'm not gonna be playing minus 235. I think it's like minus 300
Minus
now.
300 now, yeah.
Yeah, if it was a pick 'em or like maybe like minus 150, yeah, I'd play Zach Ottow because he definitely has the better chin. I think he has. I mean, I think he has the better striking. Does he have the more power? I don't think so. I think Mike Pyle definitely has better power. But the thing is, Mike Pyle, he's come out of retirement. He's been knocked out his last like 2 fights. He's been finished like 7 times. I think he's done. But the thing is, Zach Ottow, he has 2 wins by KO, and they were like a long time ago. He doesn't really have power, but Pyle's kind of shot, in my opinion. He's done. So I'll go Zach Ottow. But I'm not that confident. Like I won't be surprised if Pyle knocks him out, or if Pyle gets a sub or something, because Pyle has a very good ground game. Pyle can crack too, but I will go with Zach Ottow by finish. What about you?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with Zach Ottow as well. Nothing really much more needed to say other than Pyle's done, man. His chin is done, and I think Ottow's got the better striking. Probably gonna test his chin, and his chin is done. So that's it for that fight. Move on to the next one. We got CV Dollaway versus Hector Lombard. CV Dollaway is old school fighter. I think he's on his way out as well. I don't know why he's showing up. Hector Lombard too. He just got finished by Anthony Smith. Hector Lombard's explosive. He's got good wrestling. Same as CV Dollaway. They're kind of similar, but I do think Hector Lombard is kind of the stronger guy, except he does tend to gas. I wouldn't be surprised if he does get finished again in the third and wins the first 2 rounds. He's kind of known for that. It happened against Smith. It happened against Neil Magny. Yeah, man, I still think I'm going to have to go with Hector Lombard. I think he's going to be the more explosive guy, and as long as he doesn't gas and find a way to lose, then he's going to win. I just think he's a more, like I said, more explosive, stronger guy. He lands one of those heavy shots on CV Dollaway. CV Dollaway's taking a nap. He's been knocked out a lot of times too, so they both have a chance of going to sleep. It's a huge pass betting perspective, but I do think Hector Lombard's going to win. I don't know. Actually, I just see the line minus 135. It's not that bad for Hector Lombard, but it's hard to trust that guy with your money. I think there's better spots on the card. But I'm going to have to go with Hector Lombard. What about you?
What's funny is that this is, battle of the jobbers in my opinion, but this is actually kind of a confident play in my opinion. I actually think Lombard's going to go out there and finish him in the first round. If he gets the plus money, I might have to put a unit on there because I think Dollaway sucks. I think he's done. I think Lombard sucks too, but I do think Lombard has more in the tank. I think he has more power. I think he's going to be too fast for Dollaway. And Dollaway hasn't fought in a long time. He has back problems from the elevator incident. He said that he can't train that much. That's a huge red flag right there. Wow. And the dude's dropping from light heavyweight. I think he's done, dude. He literally said in a interview that he can't train that much. His back hurts. He's suing the company from that elevator incident a long time ago. So I know Lombard, is on a 4-5 losing streak, and he actually almost beat Anthony Smith. He was winning the first 2 rounds. He gassed. I don't think this fight's going to go in the 3rd round. I think this fight's going to go in like the first minute, and he's going to knock him out. So I don't think Dollaway's chin is there anymore. So I got Lombard by a first round KO, and it's actually kind of a confident play for me. And if it gets the plus money, I might have to put a unit on there. So next fight, this is a very good fight, one of the best fights to card. We got John Dodson versus Pedro Munoz. Now, when this fight got announced a month ago, or when it's supposed to go, I actually picked Dodson. Dodson get the win, but the more I thought about, it, the more I watched tape, I'm gonna have to go with Munoz here, man. I think he's the bigger guy. I think that the first round he might lose because Dodson comes out really good, but Dawson's been slowing down. He is on the decline. For all you guys out there, he definitely is on the decline. And Munoz, he's a punching bag for a little bit, but he pressures you. He's a tough dude. He gets in your face, and I think that's gonna wear on Dodson. And Dodson doesn't throw that much anymore, really. He just stares at you. He has power, but he doesn't even throw anymore. And I think Munoz could actually capitalize on getting a sub. To be honest, Dodson knocked out Dillashaw, but 40 years ago, the dude hasn't really been the same since he's been the bantamweight. Yeah, he had a close fight with Whittaker, but Whittaker definitely won that fight. And Yeah, I bet him versus, Magic Moraes, but, I watched that fight again, and, I actually think Moraes won that fight pretty convincingly. And, when I bet on it, I thought Dodson clearly won the fight, but then when I went back, I'm like, no, Dodson did not win this fight at all. So I just think Munoz is going to pressure him, break him, and he has pretty good boxing too. I mean, the dude, fought a very close fight, Jimmy Rivera, dude, and a lot of people thought he won that fight, and that was Jimmy's toughest fight of his career. So I got Munoz, man. I think he's gonna, win in the later rounds. I think he might drop the first round, but I think he's gonna pressure John Dodson, and I think he might get a sub, dude. So I want to go with a sub by Pedro Munoz. I think he's gonna drop him and hand Dodson his first boss fight sub. What about you?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to agree with you too. I've been thinking Munoz too. I don't know why. I just haven't been tempted to bet it. I was gonna bet it the first time around against Brazil, and when they were gonna fight in Brazil, but I don't know. I just think there's better plays on the card as well. But my pick is gonna be with Munoz for the underdog. I do think he has the heavier hands, even though Johnson has some knockouts. I haven't seen him drop anyone recently. Like you said, he's on the decline. His speed is, I don't know. I just think he's not as good anymore. He doesn't. I mean, he used to be good, but I think the MMA is passing up now. I think Munoz has better ground game, and he might even have the better boxing. He does get hit a lot, though. That's the only thing that might be able to cost him the rounds. But I think if he's able to not get hit as much and land the more shots, he can win this fight. I mean, he's got good volume. I think that's the one thing Dodson is starting to lose. That's why he started to lose his fights, is because he just does his blitzes, man. It's not constant volume. And I think if Pedro picks up the pace and pushes the pace, he can get the win, man. Now that I think about it, I don't know why we don't consider playing the bet at plus money for Pedro. Maybe because it was a better line before, but I'm going to have to go with Pedro Munoz.
Because it's not like a super confident pick. Like, I do think Beans are gonna win, but I mean,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's a better DraftKings play, in my opinion.
That's true. Next fight, we got Beneil Dariush fighting a guy making his UFC debut, Alexander Hernandez, coming in on short notice because Bobby Green got hurt. Beneil Dariush, man, I have a lot of respect for the guy. I think he's going to win this fight. He just came off of a draw against Stamann. He gave it his all his first round, tried to get the guy out of there. I think he literally tried to give it his all, had nothing else left really for the next two rounds, and ended up getting the draw. I think he could have won. He probably should have won the fight, but whatever. I can't argue the draw. Alexander Hernandez, I don't really know much about the kid, so I just know he's making a UFC debut on short notice. So I'm gonna have to go with Beneil Dariush. He's got great striking. Trains at King's MMA, has great jiu-jitsu. He's a legit black belt. So I'm gonna have to go with Benny, but I cannot play him at this price. And who knows? Maybe this Alexander kid's a beast. So, but I got Benny Dariush with the win. What about you?
Yeah, I got Benny too, man. I think he's going to go out there and get the win, but I wouldn't be parlaying him here. I think Hernandez is no slouch. He's definitely not a scrub. The dude has potential, man. He's huge for the division. He's definitely going to be bigger than Benny. I don't think he's going to win, but I think he could make it a good fight. I think he could drop Benny. It could be a back-and-forth fight of the night. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Benny, but I do think Benny's going to go out there and win. I think Benny will get a sub. Benny's a top dude, man. I mean, he's definitely – I think he's ranked like, I don't know, 12th, but I mean, the dude's definitely a top – maybe like 8 dude, maybe. I mean, he could be a top 5 guy, honestly. So I think, he has very good striking, good Muay Thai, heavy kicks, very good grappling. His only thing, is gas tank. I mean, kind of gassed after round 1. His chin is, kind of a question mark. And he just gassed against Dunham, dude. I mean, he won the first round, and Dunham showed his toughness, man. And, I don't think that was a draw. I thought Benny kind of, I don't know. It was a close fight. I actually bet Dunham there, man. I actually thought Benny won, but I mean, it went to decision or went to a draw. But yeah, I got Benny. I think he's gonna go out there and get him down, get a sub. But I won't be surprised if Hernandez, makes it a fight. Next fight, we got Ashley Yoder versus Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, man, this is a pretty easy fight. I think Mackenzie Dern is, pretty good. Obviously, her striking needs a lot of help and, improvement, but the chick has a very good ground game, very good jiu-jitsu. Actually, Yoder's not that good. She has very bad fight IQ, and her ground game's not that good either. So I feel like Mackenzie Dern's going to go out there and make a statement and get a first-round sub here. Her striking, like I mentioned, needs work, but it's not terrible. So I mean, I do think she could actually hurt Yoder on the feet too. Yoder's not that good, dude. She's kind of like whatever everywhere, and I just don't think Yoder's UFC material. I think she needs to go back to Invicta. So I got Mackenzie Dern by a first round sub. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. You know, I have to pick Mackenzie Dern here. She's like the best jiu-jitsu girl in the world. At her weight division, she's beautiful. She's good. Her, like you said, her striking can do some work. It'd be interesting to see her go against someone with really good takedown defense, and really good striking. I think she'd be in trouble there especially against some of the elite girls in her division. Ashley Yoder, though, is not that. She's a jobber. She's put in there to lose. She's put in there to make Mackenzie Dern look good. She's put in there to grapple against Mackenzie Dern and get subbed. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to clinch up, and Mackenzie Dern's going to get the dominant position and just do what she wants with her on the mat and get the win, get the sub, like you said. So yeah, I got Mackenzie Dern as well. Next fight is good fight. The play I got, my only play so far of the night. We got Kat Zingano versus Ketlen Vieira, who's undefeated, 3-0 in the UFC, coming off a win off of an impressive win against Sarah McMahon. She was she's shown good striking before too in her previous fights. I think she's got really good striking. She's got really good takedowns, good jiu-jitsu as well. She's just an overall, modern day fighter that I think has a lot of potential. She's very well-rounded. She's a modern day UFC fighter. Good grappling, good striking, and good jiu-jitsu. She's very well-rounded. Now, let's talk about Kat Zingano, who, in my opinion, she's more of those old school MMA fighters, who were kind of just like one-dimensional, but since it was kind of back in the day, it got you by and it was good enough. Her striking is not good. She just kind of throws punches. She runs towards you, throwing punches until she was able to get the clinch. Her last win was years ago against Amanda Nunes, but it's kind of misleading because Nunes was a different fighter back then. She almost got her out of there, but gassed. Kat Zingano is pretty good when she gets it to the mat though. She has a good throw. She has a good overthrow. She kind of does like a suplex or something like that, but when she gets on top of you, she does have good pressure. She gets girls out of there. She got a finish over Misha Tate, Amanda Nunes, but those girls are kind of, like I said, old school MMA girls, and there's a reason why they're retired. Kat Zingano is one of them that I think should also hang up the gloves. She's very one-dimensional. She's only got the top game. And I think Ketlen Vieira can beat her anywhere the fight goes. I don't think Kat Zingano is going to be able to take her down. Ketlen Vieira is going to stuff those takedowns and reverse them and end up getting on top. So, like I said, Vieira's got this fight anywhere it goes. I think she's got the better grappling and the better striking. So I made a 3-unit play on her at -150, and I don't see the line getting any better. So get it while you still can, boys. So let's go, Caitlin. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got 3 units on Caitlin as well, and at -130. And yeah, man, you said everything I want to say. She has the way better striking. I feel like it's not even close. Kat has no striking. Vieira's striking is very good. You saw that striking against Ashley Evans Smith. I mean, dude, her striking looked very good. I'm surprised that Evans Smith didn't get finished. Caitlin Vieira has a nasty uppercut, dude. And the right hand is vicious. She pressures you, dude. She hits like a dude, man. And she's a black belt, nasty jiu-jitsu. You saw that head and arm choke against Sarah, man. Kat Zingano, though, I mean, she hasn't fought in a long time. She used to be good. Who knows how her weight cut was? I mean, dude, she ballooned like in a whale, dude. I think she would weigh like 180 or something like that. I think people are just joking, but she got fat for sure. So the fact that she had to cut the 120 or 135, I mean, it had to be a hard weight cut for her. And I think she has good takedowns, but that's about it. I don't think it's going to matter here because Vieira has a black belt. She could definitely sweep her. I think she could take her down. She's better everywhere, like you mentioned. And I think it's all going to, the fight starts on the feet, and I think she's going to mess Kat on the feet up bad. So I got Caitlin wherever the fight goes. If it hits the mat, I won't be worried because Caitlin Vieira has a very, very good ground game. And I got Vieira by a third round finish. So next fight, we're going to keep it short. I got Stefan Struve versus Andrei Arlovski. I got Arlovski. I'm surprised I'm saying this because the dude was on a 4-fight losing streak, but he went out there and beat that diaper Junior Albini. And I think he's going to beat Struve, man. I mean, I don't think Struve's that good, bro. I mean, he beat Stipe like 100 years ago, but I mean, the dude just has that tall man's defense. He leaves his chin up in the air. Volkov just destroyed him. And I don't know if you know this, but I actually just heard this recently. But after his fight with Volkov, he said he never wants to fight in UFC again. So, I mean, where's his head at? I mean, like, he kind of verbally retired. Now he's back. And I think Arlovski, hits like a truck still. I mean, they both have terrible chins, but I think Arlovski can definitely crack on that chin. So I got Arlovski by first round finish. For anyone out there betting on Struve in this fight or Arlovski, I mean, it's definitely a pass. But, I mean, I have to go with the dog here. So I got Arlovski. And the line was kind of a joke. I think Arlovski opened like plus 260. I mean, that's a
good bet. That's a good bet.
That's so bad. Like, I mean, it should
be a sharp play. If whoever got that, it's a sharp play.
It is. The line should be like minus 120 for both of them. So,
I agree where it's at. I think it's pretty fair where it's at. Plus 150 or so for Struve, but sorry, I mean for Arlovski. But go ahead.
Yeah, but Arlovski shouldn't be plus 260 against Struve.
No way.
Maybe against Curtis Blades. Maybe like plus 600 against Curtis Blades. So yeah, I got Arlovski. What about you?
Yeah, man. Same here. Arlovski. It's a huge pass for me, but if you are gonna bet this, I think it's a dog or pass situation. You cannot trust either of these fighters, in my opinion. They fucking love to go to sleep. They get wobbly legs pretty easily. But if I had to choose the person that gets gonna get wobbly, I think it's gonna be Stefan Struve, man. I think Arlovski, he kind of showed his resilience against Tibura. He got a win against Albini. And like you just said, man, Struve got absolutely destroyed by Volkan. Where's his head at? Is he showing up for a paycheck? Is he going to get scared to get hit? I think Arlovski's still in there. The last thing to go is the power. So I think if Arlovski touches that chin, Struve's going to go to sleep. And I agree with you, man. I got the dog here as well. I just think Arlovski's still has a little bit more in him than Struve does. And Struve has a horrible chin. Reminds me of he's going to be dancing around like a giraffe, like a baby giraffe in there with barely able to walk. So, yeah, man, next fight, we got Sugar Shot OMalley versus Andrei Soukhamthath. We got, Shot OMalley came to be known in the Contender Series. Then he made his UFC debut against Terrion Ware. He won the first round and the third. He ended up showing some wrestling too. So he showed that he has some good fight IQ. He knows what it takes to win the rounds. He knows what it takes to win fights on the scorecards, as well as get the finish, as he showed in the Contender Series. His striking is good enough to get the finish. His volume is good enough to get the decision, and he's even got wrestling to steal the rounds if need be. So the only holes I see in his game are his defense. He likes to be a little flashy. He likes to fight with his hands low, and I do think that's going to cost him. I don't know if this is going to be the fight or not, but I don't know. It could be, it could not be. But I do think OMalley has a better volume. He's got good wrestling. I mean, He showed some good takedowns against Terrion Ware, and he's got the volume at the end of the day. So at the 135 division, I think that's huge. You know, you want those guys that put out a lot of volume, that look for takedowns. You know, you want guys that know how to win decisions as well as finish. You know, you don't want someone that you don't want some guy that you're gonna pray he gets that lands that knockout blow. You know, those aren't the kind of people you want to bet on. You don't want to bet on the people that only chance to win is a knockout. And in my opinion, that's what I see about Andrei Soukhamthath. I think his only chance is to get a knockout, and it could happen because OMalley does like to fight with his hands low. But at the 135 division, I think the chances of that are not as high. So I'm gonna have to go with Sean O'Malley. He's gonna piece him up with the volume. Soukhamthath's gonna look for that knockout punch, and I don't think he's gonna get it. I think O'Malley's going to use his movement. He has good movement, good enough movement to not get hit, and hopefully he's starting to learn to put his hands up. He's gonna have to take his first UFL, or he's going to take his first L soon if he doesn't fight with his hands up. But I do have O'Malley in this one, going to get the decision, and yeah, man, he's just got too much volume. So I'm going to have to go with O'Malley. What about you?
Yeah, it's a very good fight, man. I mean, back and forth. Initially I picked Soukhamthath, Soccer Mom, and then I watched more tape, and I'm gonna have to go with the dog here, man. O'Malley opened up as a favorite, now he's a dog. I actually faded him versus Terrion Ware, and he showed some grit in that fight, dude. Ware, was boxing him up in that fight, second round, 1-1 going to the third, and he wanted more than Ware, man. He took him down. He showed that he's a tough dude. He did some big shots, dude. I mean, has a good chin, man. Like you mentioned, flashy. I think he has more weapons on the feet for sure. Soukhamthath doesn't throw that much. I mean, the dude's like 1-5 in decisions. I mean, doesn't have a good record in the UFC. He lost to Morales. Yeah, he beat Luke Sanders, but I mean, I didn't realize that he closed his eyes when he went at that shot and dropped him. Luke Sanders is kind of a head case, anyways. And so I'm not gonna put too much credit in that knockout. I mean, when has he done that before? I mean, he hits hard, but does he throw? Like, he doesn't throw that much, Soukhamthath. And I mean, he's already emotional. He's pushing O'Malley at the stare down. And I think I think Sean has him right now where he wants him. And I think Sean might have the better grappling too. I don't think he's gonna hit the mat, but I think he's more well-rounded, and I do think he's more technical, and I do think that he has the more volume. So I'm gonna have to go with Sean, man. I think he's gonna push that pace, and I think he might break Soukhamthath. And I don't know if he's gonna finish him because Soukhamthath's a tough dude. I don't think he's ever been finished. But yeah, I got O'Malley, man, and we'll see who he fights next, because between me and you, if he fought Cody Stamann, I'd probably bet 100 units on Cody Stamann right now. So yeah, I got O'Malley. So next fight, we got my last bet of the night. This is the best fight of the night. It should be the main card. It should be the main event. We got Brian T City Ortega versus Frankie Edgar. So I got 3 units on the underdog at T City. I believe I got it at plus 160. Yeah, I did. And I don't think it's been better than that since. I'm pretty sure it's like plus 155 right now. Went to plus 145. Edgar's a beast, dude. I'm not overlooking the dude at all. He's one of the best fighters of all time. He has, a very, very good gas tank. He has good boxing. He's good wrestling. He's good everywhere, man. I just think this is T City's time. The dude's undefeated. I don't know why people out there are fading this kid. I know, Edgar's the best guy he's ever fought, but this T City dude is legit, dude. His striking obviously wasn't the same, his first couple fights, but ever since the Marcano fight, his striking's definitely, developed, and it's a lot better, man. I actually think he has more power than Edgar. I think he might even hurt Edgar on the feet. I do think Edgar has the better striking, or it's on the feet overall, but it's close. It's not like it's like Edgar's gonna smoke him on the feet. I think it's pretty close, and T City has a very good pressure game, dude. He's gonna pressure him. He doesn't have to worry about getting taken down either, because if you take him down, it's his world. So I think Edgar's gonna take him down, or is gonna hit the mat once. And in my opinion, if this hits the mat, I think it's all T City. Even if he's on top of T City, he's in trouble. I mean, T City has vicious elbows. His triangle's legit. I think he can sweep Edgar. So if it hits the mat, I'm gonna be like jumping up, because I feel like it's gonna be all T City. But on the feet, I don't think it's all Edgar either, man. Like I mentioned, it's close, but I mean, T City's boxing's been legit, dude. I mean, it's definitely improved a lot, and I think he has more power than Edgar, man. Edgar, obviously, I feel like, yeah, man. I mean, he's in his, his prime right now. he's fighting for a big fight. But I do think that he has a lot of wars, man. I mean, the dude has more damage than T City, and I think it's gonna catch up to him, man. I think T City's gonna find this fight to the mat. Whether he takes him down, he gets taken down, he snatches his neck like he did, like Cub. And I know we were talking about this earlier, but I know this is an example, but I mean, look at Yair Rodriguez versus Frankie Edgar. Yair and T City are two totally different fighters because Yair doesn't have a ground game. But I mean, Yair got him in the guillotine. Imagine if that was T City, it would have been all she wrote, But you can't really compare Rodriguez to T City because I mean, T City has the best ground game in the division, probably in UFC. So I just don't see how Edgar wants to take him down because if he takes him down, I feel like he's going to be in trouble. He's not going to out grapple T City on the ground. He's gonna get swept. He's gonna get tapped. I'm telling you, man. I know he has not been tapped out. Okay, Edgar's a very tough dude. The dude's never been finished, but I mean, it's the first time for everything, man. So I got T City, and I think he's gonna go out there and make a statement and actually drop Frankie Edgar and then get a submission. So I got T City by a second round finish, and I'm calling it on the show right now. You can hate me all you want, but he's gonna beat Max Holloway as well, and I'll be betting him there too. So I got T City all day. What about you?
I've been going back and forth on this fight, but I do think I'm going to have to go with Frankie Edgar to get the decision. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Edgar does get a takedown and doesn't get subbed either because he's also a black belt under Ricardo Almeida, who is legit. So he might have good enough jiu-jitsu to defend Brian Ortega's attacks. But like you said, if he does take him down, I will be worried. Ortega's a big guy. He's got good guillotines, got good guard, so he can get the sweep. He can get the sub. His striking's looking better every fight, but Clay Guida was giving him a hard time. So I think if Clay Guida gives him a hard time, I think Frankie Edgar can too, and Frankie Edgar is better than Clay Guida, better. But I mean, it's hard to say because Ortega has improved a lot since that fight. But I do think Frankie Edgar's speed is going to pose a problem. Ortega is a bit slow. So it's because he's so big, but for the division compared to the other smaller guys. But I do think that I don't know. I do think Frankie has a better striking. He's going to be able to get the wins that way and keep the fight standing. I don't think he's going to initiate the grappling at all. I think if he needs to, he might get a takedown late in the round, but I don't see it. I just see him outboxing him for all three and getting a decision. Next fight, we got the main event. By the way, I think they should have done an interim fight. I mean, no disrespect for Max Holloway, but who gives a shit nowadays? They're giving out interim belts left and right, and this is a real main event, and I would love to see them go for 5 rounds. If this were a 5-round fight, this would be different, man. I might have to favor Ortega just because he has more time to get the finish. I do think the finish is out there too, because Ortega's been able to put everyone away, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gives Frankie the his first submission loss, or if he's the first one to finish Frankie in some way. But I don't see that very likely since Frankie's never been finished, and he's a tough guy, man. So I'm gonna have to go with Frankie. All right, now for the main event is Christian Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya. Kunitskaya is making her UFC debut. Cyborg is getting fed, sheep to just maul through. And I think she's going to maul through her again, too. She just mauled through that mom. She just outstrikes everybody. These no-namers that are just getting UFC title fights because they're willing to fight Cyborg. But, yeah, man, this is just kind of a beating that we're going to see. So I'm going to have to go with Cyborg. What about you?
Yeah, I got Cyborg. We don't really have to talk about this much. I think Cyborg is going to, finish her, but I don't think Yana is a jobber. I do think that she has potential. I do think she's better than Tanya Evinger. I think Tanya Evinger beat her, though, but I think they had another fight that they got DQ. But, yeah, man, I don't think Yana's that bad. I do think that, she's decent. She trains at a good camp in Jackson, so trains with Holly Holm. We'll see what happens. But Cyborg's a dude. I think she's going to go out there and get the win. But like I mentioned before, Cyborg is going to lose to Amanda Nunes if that ever happens. So, yeah, I got Nunes all day in that fight. And to recap our bets, I got 4 units on my boy Cody Stamann at -145. I got 3 units on Vieira at -130. And I got 3 units on T-City. Just those 3 plays for me. And you just have the 1 play on Vieira, right?
I have 3 units on Vieira. Yes, -150 going to.
Anyone else you thinking about, Ben?
So yeah, I'm thinking about betting Stamann and Sean O'Malley.
I like it, man. I do think O'Malley's going to win. I'm surprised I picked Suka first. I thought he was going to win. Then I watched more tape, and I'm like, damn, O'Malley has a good matchup here. So, all right, man, we are going to be done. We'll be back in, I believe, 2 weeks for the London card. It's not the best card. I mean, I haven't really looked into it yet, but we'll see what happens. And good luck, everybody. Hope you all cash. I love the haters out there. You guys motivate me. And let's do it. Later, guys.
Peace.